Now let's turn our attention to India. It is the world's fifth largest economy. You already know that. But did you know that India is also the world's fifth biggest alcohol market, worth about $52 billion? Indians are raising their glasses and the world is here for it. Tonight we'll tell you how. Now, India has a long history with alcohol. It has been consumed for centuries in this country. References to alcohol date back to 200 BC. But over time, India has also come into its own as a maker, and not just for consumption at home, but also for the world. Let me give you an example. Only a tiny proportion of Indians drink Scotch. Despite this, India is one of the biggest exporters of Scotch. Last year, India drove the global growth in the global liquor market. It accounted for a third of the growth, and experts say this is not a sudden boom and it is going to last. The global market for alcohol is expected to grow by 40% till 2030. Emerging markets like Asia and Africa will be the major contributors, and among them, India will lead the charge. It is already one of the fastest growing markets for alcohol. It is growing at 6.8% annually, and it's expected to reach $64 billion over the next 5 years. This overall increase is supported by growth in varied categories. Last year, the market for Scotch, for instance, grew by 32%, gin by 45%, agave by 70%, and single malt whiskey by a stunning 144%. And this is not surprising. Single malts are reshaping India's alcohol market. India is a whiskey drinking nation, but now it is leading production too. Indian-born whiskies are competing with global brands for shelf space. They're winning global awards, making a buzz worldwide, so much so that last year a multinational liquor behemoth launched its own Indian single malt. Now compare this with a global picture. The world over, some of the most developed markets are showing a decline in production. That's because they also have a declining consumption pattern. Studies say each generation is drinking lesser than the previous one. There are health concerns and shifting lifestyles. Also, when your population is shrinking and you have fewer younger people, it becomes a problem for all kinds of market, including alcohol. We saw this in America, where Gen Z is drinking 20% less per capita than millennials. And this trend is not limited to the US. The German market is drying off too. And this is a country that was known for its beer consumption. Some nations have it even worse. For instance, Japan is in crisis mode. Its alcohol market has shrunk dramatically, so much so that last year their government launched a campaign. It was called the Sake Viva. Sake is a Japanese rice wine, and Japan wants its citizens to drink and promote it. So far, India does not face this problem. Young Indians are driving the sales, backed by rising incomes and post-pandemic growth. They're trying new products, opting for high-quality drinks, chasing the quiet luxury of craft liquor, and indirectly promoting the birth of new homegrown brands. Indian startups in this space are showing massive growth. This ecosystem is worth over $1.2 billion. And the government is supporting this growth with new policies aimed to improve infrastructure for the food processing sector, which also includes the alcohol industry. So several factors are driving this boom. But the result is one. India is now a key player in the global alcoholic beverage industry. It has miles to go, but clearly the spirits are already high.